Hey everyone, this is Taryn of Wings Inc., your life coaching choice. Um, I hope everyone has definitely had a good day today. Um, a question was asked, and I wanna address this. A young lady asked me at work today if the positivity I um, that I use and that I um, have, is it real? And is it something that I actually practice? And I told her, yes, it is actually real. It's real, but not of my own strength. Absolutely not of my own strength. We talked about getting along with our children's fathers and why so many women find it hard to. And now men behave this way too, but I talk about women because I am a mom, I am a woman, I have ex-husbands and husbands, and I have those relationships that I've had to conquer. So I don't let men off the hook just because I only talk about the women. I talk about the women because that's the standpoint where I am from my perspective as a woman. I could talk about men too because I have men in my family that I have literally watched have to conquer these same things with their children's moms, and they've done it. So I see that men can do it if they want to, and if they just trust God with this, and if they fix their focus on what they need to do as opposed to what she needs to do. So that's the same for me. And so I had to do it, but it was not, again, not of my own strength. My example is a crazy one, actually. Actually, I have two crazy ones, but I'll get into and explain the one with my son's father another time. But with my baby girl, with my ex-husband, with him, God intervened in a major way with that one, because I was doing and behaving and directing darts at him every chance I got. Every time somebody asked me how was he doing, and things like that, I started out with something decent. He's doing pretty good, but then I would throw a dart because from my perspective, I was still upset about like how things were going with co-parenting. So, and then God had to come through for me. And honestly, when I think about it, I think God came through for both of us, but I think He came through for him first. I honestly do. I don't know why. I just do. But He came through for him through me. So when I was in my group, my small group, and my healing group, and we talked about forgiveness, which is why I'm always talking about forgiveness, which is why I'm always talking about moms and ex-husbands or absent fathers, because of what God did for me. So my focus was on the things that he did or didn't do. And so what God finally did for me was one night after group, I talked about those things, and my sponsor or mentor asked me, do I think I'll ever forgive him and be able to move forward? And I said what most women say: I've already forgiven him. I'm just living life. I'm just doing what I need to do. That response, the way I responded, said, you didn't. But my words said, I did. I've already forgiven him. I'm just doing what I need to do. I do what I need to do. I take care of her. And that's that. That was my response. So that said no. But I didn't think about it at that time. So I got home and I did what I normally do, get everything done for the evening. Hey, y'all, I'm sorry. Forgive me for my phone. My phone is slipping on this thing because it's crooked. So I'm kind of having to hold it still. So if you see it kind of fold down, don't worry about it. But anyway, so I went to bed that night, and God woke me up about 2:30 in the morning. And I didn't know why I was up at first. And then he said, I just kept hearing the Holy Spirit tell me, call him and apologize. And quite instinctively, I said, what? Why would I do that? This can't be God. Why would I apologize when he should be apologizing? And God kept me up for about an hour. So I thought, I'm just up because I probably just, I don't know, maybe because of what I said in group, things like that. So I went back to sleep. Thought I was going to be, it took me a whole about an hour and a half to go back to sleep. So I was like, I'm going to be tired in the morning, but it'll be okay. God, thank you for revitalizing my body. And I went back to sleep. So the next night, same thing. He woke me up, said the same thing. And then I said, well, this can't be me 2 nights in a row. Why would I wake myself up? So I asked God, why would you keep waking me up to call and apologize to him when he needs to be apologizing? God doesn't answer that one at all. He let me go back to sleep about 2 hours later. And I got to work the next day. I was so exhausted. I was so tired. And and I thought, I'm going to have to take a day off if this keeps happening. All I had to do was just obey. But I didn't think about that at the time because I felt like all in my spirit that I need to just go back to bed. So I went back to bed. Third night, he did it again. Woke me up 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I got up, and so I think it was probably about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour later that I thought, you know what? Unless I want to be up every night, even if I just don't know that this is God, I'm just going to do it. Maybe that'll help. So I did. I went back to, I picked up the phone and I called him. And I told him, that I'm sorry, if he would forgive me and I didn't know what to say. Don't let me forget that part. I honestly did not know what to say because I thought, what am I apologizing for? And I was kind of being rebellious, so I wasn't trying to find some words. I was just like, God, I don't even know what to say. But God didn't need me to have my words together. He just needed for me to be available and to be obedient. Because as soon as he answered the phone and said, hey, is everything okay? Are the kids okay? I said, yeah, I just needed to apologize to you. And then the words just started flowing because I wanted to say, because of this that you did that made me react like this. I wanted to say those things. But God just had like all the words flowing nicely. I wanted to apologize for my part in the breakdown of our marriage, the part I played in it, because of course it takes two. And I just wanted to say, I want us to be great co-parents, and all these things, whatever else I said, I just basically just owned up to my part. And the Holy Spirit was just bringing it to my remembrance so vivid too. Like I had forgotten about half the junk I'd done, but he was definitely bringing it to my remembrance as it was coming out of my mouth. And I was thinking, okay, I did that. But once I did it, he thought it was a little weird at first because trust me when I say, we were not having nice phone calls. We were not having peaceful conversations. So for me to do that, he was a little confused. And then he said, is this real? Are you serious? Or what? Like you need something? And I said, no. I said, it's real. I said, actually, these are not even my words. So we got finished with that. He said, okay. So let me just tell you, that felt good once I did it. I was reluctant in the beginning. I was rebelling, like I'm not going to do it. And afterwards, though, I felt like a freeing inside of me happened. And I thought I wasn't feeling so aggravated at, well, why do I have to apologize first? God's peace just covered me because I was obedient. And so after that, my conversation started changing. And I still had a couple of more things I had to call him on. Then he decided to, I don't know how much time later, but Jen went to visit him for like a holiday or something. And when she came back, she told me that apparently his church had some ministries that help aid in healing and things too. So he went to one of those. So it was really good, and it helped her. So I just want to say, so with God, all things are possible. All things are possible. With ourselves, like some things are easy for on our own, but in all honesty, we really don't even do that on our own, because he created us. And but he handles everything according to how it should be handled. And it's not about if I'm being fake, I'm just trusting God in everything that I do, especially after that. That's what changed a lot of things with me, with making sure I work out this healing with my sponsor. That's what was one of the turning points that made me say, I need to make sure I'm going to work this. I'm going to work everything that they're asking me to do for my healing. And I did when I saw God move like that. And that's the same. So that's why I share what I experienced, because God has done so many great things in my life for healing, for deliverance, to allow me to have peace, to allow me to release someone else. Because honestly, that didn't just help me. Me apologizing to him helped him too. I can't speak, and I can even speak on an abusive relationship. No, I don't have to hang out with that person anymore. I've never hung out with him after that. But I've been in that relationship. So if someone says, yeah, but what about abuse? I don't have to hang out with him. I can actually be in the same room with my daughter's dad, with my ex-husband, and we can laugh and talk. But everybody's situation is different. But God is still the same as far as the healing is concerned. I've been in the same room with someone who actually did abuse me, and that was nobody but God too. Nobody but God. Nobody but God. So everybody's situation is different. No, everybody's is not exactly the same. And no, I don't say all these things because I'm expecting them to be the same. All I'm doing is giving encouragement to let God work out conflict and forgiveness in your lives. He may do it differently, but that's not for me to worry about. The only thing I have to do is be available to share what he did for me. And I feel so good even saying that, because I know what he did for me. And I know that he is no respecter of person. What he's done for me, he'll do for others, even if it's in a different way. He is still God, and he is still the same, and he is a healer. And he is a healer of all things, no matter what it is. So I just encourage you to trust him. Don't pray and ask God to help with things, but then don't want to be available.